And we are live. Thank you, wastrels and scoundrels, for joining us this evening on our Hell on Earth Deadlands Reloaded live stream phenom spectacular extravaganza event, epoch defining form of entertainment that will rattle around in your subconscious at least until 50 fathoms, if not for the remainder of your days, as you ponder such deep philosophical queries as will Samson ever dispense more candy? Will Sabrina ever get another handshake? Will Blackfinger ever really nail that accent? Will we discover more about the mysterious past of St. Louis and the Templars? Yeah, you see the call out right there at the beginning, Ryan? Oh, boom! Yeah. Speaking of people that do accents fantastically, I'm your host this evening, Will Thompson. I run the League of Explorers here tonight and every night. Until the next couple of weeks, we are probably just now 2 weeks out, ladies and gentlemen, from our our shoot your shot, one shot slot weekend slots. Yeah, slots. Our shoot your shot, one shot slot weekend slots, right? Where we will have guest DMs from other channels, right? From our own player base. Potentially you come run a one shot in their favorite system. We do Savage Worlds here, but these are completely system agnostic. You'll see all kinds of stuff. We got people bringing ninjas into the fray. We got people bringing Call of Cthulhu into the fray. We got people bringing D&D into the fray. You know, all the good stuff. All the systems everybody loves. So look forward to that, because you will see other people besides me running the show, and me in some of the shows too, because I'm gonna sit in on the other side of the table. You see, really this has just been a selfish ruse for me to be able to play games without having to do the hours and hours and hours of intense and laborious prep work, and able to make them slightly bearable, right? So stay tuned for this very selfish ploy that I have unleashed upon all of you. And with that established, you're here for the post-apocalypse, but you could also be here on Tuesday night for Pirate Fantasy Adventure. Think Pirates of the Caribbean if everybody had a secret fetish. Okay, so just Pirates of the Caribbean, you know what I mean? Because, let's look at the subtext, right? And then maybe you're like, pirates, that's a little too far back for me. Well, why not cowboys then? That's a little more modern, right? You can bring it up into the late 1800s with our Wednesday night Deadlands Reloaded show, where the posse is thereabouts in the same geographical vicinity as our players this evening, 200 years in the future. And longtime viewers of that show, loyal fans, our die-hard, true blood, our patriots, right, our posse riders, if you will notice that there is some character overlap in the two shows tonight. Uh-oh. Somebody's gonna put it together. Who's it gonna be? It's not gonna be me. Well, it's gonna be me, narratively and, tangentially, but it will not be, it'll be you. It'll be you guys with your minds. With your mind threads. Weaving your own beautiful tapestry from my word nuggets. My word thread? Well, I already used thread. My word fibers. There you go. That's another word that goes for cloth. But my word weave. Ooh, alliterative. My wacky word weave, We're fancy and flamboyant around here. That makes us flambancy. But with that established, why don't we get to this evening's question? If there was one core defining attribute that defined your character, one principle, something foundational, something bedrock, something embedded deep in their psyche, something that is irreconcilable, it could be some line they will not cross, some virtue that they hold incredibly dear. What is their most sacred personal truth? Real easy one. I told you these were gonna get hard. I warned you. Yeah.
I guess I'll give a stab at it.
All right, Samson.
AI heartstrings tug at primary directives of hearts and minds. Confirmation. Danger close and still at war. These are my primary functions and operations, and they are at my very core.
Just this prime directive. There you go. Yeah. I mean, why the hell not, right? That's all that's left. I mean, there's more in the tangled weave that is Samson, of course, but not that he recalls currently. Excellent. Thank you, Samson.
I
You
think
know,
St. Louis.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, go ahead.
No, by
I
all
was
means, yeah.
St. Louis. His primary principle tends to be, as much as he can be, he strives to be good. Whatever that means, it doesn't always mean the same thing to everybody else. But as far as his moral compass goes, he tries to stay on the side of the right, which is why I think the Templars spoke to him.
Just the side of the right, which now in this day and age, you go, all right, yeah, sure, you're trying to.
It's a
Yeah,
gray
yeah,
area.
that's fine. But in the post-apocalypse, right, that can mean quite a number of things, certainly, right? It has a certainly, and if we were playing like a modern RPG or like a Western or whatever, that's a cop out on the side of right, right. But in this very specific circumstance where the side of right is a very nebulous and very relative thing, that stands, yeah, mm-hmm. Deeply held personal truth, just something that's entirely sacred and immalleable in the consciousness rooted deep in the psyche of your character. No big deal.
I I'm I got it. I got it.
All right.
So like all you know I want to do Sabrina wants to do is pass the torch. She herself is a clone, but she wants to keep how to serve your man going throughout the land, even if it is a wasteland. I mean, um, to create the coven to uh, keep learning and teaching and spreading and
All about the faith. Because you gotta have
uh,
faith, faith, faith.
the power, faith and power. I mean,
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, there is power in faith.
What?
Well, I mean, in this particular universe, so like for hundreds of years, not currently really, but historically, people used to be able to literally call down the power of Jesus in the Deadlands, right? They'd be like, "Jesus, help me," and in the beginning of the Deadlands, right? Literally every one of them that was just lived a good life could perform miracles of the biblical nature. Now that waned severely over the timeline and is non-extant now. But yeah, no, there has been power and faith here for a while. Now it means something different, You certainly have faith in the eldritch powers that lie within the spells in your sacred cookbook, right? And it's not faith as in some belief in the unseen, right? It's faith that in following these rituals, you will accrue all that you have coming to you.
That's supposed to be mine, exactly. That's
Mm-hmm.
the power comes to play.
Mm-hmm. Excellent, excellent. And last but certainly not least, Blackfinger.
The machines. The machines keep me alive. And they speak to me.
What do they say?
They all sorts of things. The effigy will be completed,
It will.
whether they like it or not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The machine spirits will complete the effigy, or you will complete the effigy?
I will complete it, and then they will come,
They
and then
will,
you will all see.
they will complete it through you, mayhaps? Hmm. Hmm. Excellent. Excellent. So, we have somebody just trying to walk the path of good, somebody driven by their core fundamental programming precepts, somebody driven by their lust for power and man flesh, and a tiny little wretched half-man that is convinced that he is going to summon the machine god through his machinations as they work through him. Mm-hmm. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Yes, sorry.
Man flesh is just a bonus. Like it's not necessarily.
Well, I mean, I
It's
led
a
with the
wonderful
power.
awesome.
You know, I led with the power, and man flesh was like addendum man flesh, you know. But
You gotta do what you gotta do.
you do have to do what you have to. You do, if you will.
Do do.
You gotta do. My most deeply held and sacred belief is that I am destined for great things. That I have the force of personality, right? I have the drive. I have the raw charisma, the intellectual chutzpah, right, to accomplish great things. Now, do I think I will? Probably not. You know, I like to get a little baked. You know, I'm gonna. What's this? Let's do some nerd stuff. Woo! Right? But I believe truly within me I could be more than the sum of my parts. And I suppose everybody does to some extent, but I am an exceptionally egotistical individual. Especially if you take it's the whole package. Yeah. But moving on from that, we had raw charisma. That's right. Well, I ain't cooking it. You'll notice that some people here have the ability to toss out some jelly deals, just blah 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 blah, and that is by benefit of them being subscribers to the channel. That's right. You subscribe to the League of Gentlemen Explorers, and you can type League 65 glute in all caps and throw your own jelly deals into the chat. That's right. Shortly after, if it hadn't have been for the dramatic rebranding, which we're like, 42 minutes into this, and I haven't even said rebrand yet, guys, right? There would have been a Samson emote. Samson emote is coming up. You will be able to dispense candy next. And then we have one emote slot left after that, which who knows where that'll go. Probably something new for the Deadlands, because the Flappy Arms is referenced in like our second episode. Nobody knows who Flappy Arms is at this point. Rest in peace, Chet Atkinson's gone but not forgotten. But long story short, somebody poisoned a railhand tech, and he had to hang on to the side of the train, and one of them tried to help him and critically failed and kicked him to his death, and then got the minor hindrance that they had an enemy chasing them, and it was a minor because it was the boy's son, so it was a minor hindrance. You see how that works? It's Laird. He was... Well, alright. That has nothing to do with tonight, but if you want to be able to bring jelly deals or dispense candy at your leisure, all you got to do is subscribe, and you can do that with, just hitting that subscribe button and give me $5 American dollars, or if you prefer, you can use your Amazon Prime and pay me in Bezos bucks. You know, you already have Amazon Prime. You're not going out to Walmart to get your toiletry. Come on. Use those Bezos bucks that are just sitting there doing nothing and support an indie channel. I had somebody once tell me, oh, I'm sorry, I can't support your channel because I support Critical Role. Like, Critical Role needs your Bezos bucks. You know who needs your Bezos bucks? Hardworking channels like me, like Saving Throw Show, like CFT RPG, so many others out there. Support your small independent streamers, because we're the ones that are doing this because, frankly, we're passionate. And if you don't like the passion, well, then, you're in the wrong place, because we're all about the passion here. You can cut glass to my nipples right now. I'm so excited for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, it is, woof. It ain't even frosty in here, but it might as well be. So, let's get support. Oh, I thought for a minute there that said support your ISIS. And I was like, ooh, we need another acronym. We can't, no, an independent streamer, entertainment service. I don't want, support your ISIS. No, let's not. Let's not. I know we're kind of, oh, yeah, shit, I was about to totally skip over last note, and then I swear to God, we'll start playing 23 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. We're not the League of Gentlemen Explorers anymore. We're not. So what happened was, I made the name, and then I played about 2 games, and I said, fuck, I don't like League of Gentlemen Explorers, right? That gentleman, it's like a top hat, and I don't shave my neck, and I'm like, are there any ladies around? Like, gentleman is just gross, right? It didn't occur to me at the time, it just sounded like fancy, Honestly, I was like, alright, that's fancy, that's good, And then, I had already made the logo that said League of Gentlemen Explorers, and I said, well, I'm not fucking doing that again, right? And so I sat on it for about 10 months, and 4 or 5 people from the channel came up, and they're like, I love being on the show, but League of Gentlemen Explorers is just so cringy to tell people. right? And I agreed every time. I'm like, of course, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I mean, you got the gender exclusionary angle I hadn't considered. Because frankly, right, when I first started, there was not a wide net of lady people that were like, oh, what's that? Your untested group of dude streamers? Yeah, I'll hop on board. It was a sausage party for about 5 months. But that being said, gender exclusionary, neckbeardy, right? It just milady, are we wearing fedoras over here? It was gross. Right, trilbies, technically. Fedoras are kind of cool. Trilbies, though, no. Pork pie hat, you can get fucked with that. But we don't wear trench coats, right? None of us feel entitled to ladies' bodies. So Gentlemen Explorers didn't really work, right? And then the issue came after that was that I didn't, what do I change it to? If not League of Gentlemen Explorers, it has to be cooler, right? So then we're having a conversation for like the seventh time. Lisa here, actually, in the chat. Yay, Lisa was the propagator of it this time. She goes, it's just so cringy. And I said, God damn it, it is cringy. And I just thought on it for a second, and I go, if we change the G to an R, we could have the kick-ass acronym lore, that brand, boom, lore, right? And then we literally spent about 4 hours tossing R adjectives into our Discord community that you could join and be a part of the conversations. And I mean, we went through like, are we the radical explorers, right? Are we the rapacious explorers? Are we the reticent explorers? I mean, we toss some R words around, if you know what I mean. And that sounds so foul. Yeah, we tossed all them R words around, you know what I mean? We got down to the bottom of it, right? And finally, our friend and associate, the Hussman from CFDR2G, and Young and Holt, he does a bunch of great Deadlands podcast stuff. You should check him out as well. Landed on raconteur, which for those of you who do not speak archaic French English, right, means a person that entertainingly tells a colorful anecdote, right? And well, frankly, I mean, you got at least one raconteur here. You know what I'm saying, right? And we are exploring shit, and technically, since there's more than one of us, we're a league. I guess we're kind of a quorum. We're like quorum level at this point. I think we could officially form a quorum with our numbers, but the quorum would destroy the metaphor, and then we'd be core. No, we're lore now. So I am probably going to, with increasingly rare frequency, refer to us as the League of Raconteur Explorers, right? And call us lore. We are lore stream. We are lore. This is the lore channel. Everything that happens here will be lore. Welcome to lore. Now, 30 minutes in, I'm sure, what do we got here? We're at 27. Ooh, 3 more minutes of babbling. All right. No. We are on to, what's actually happening here in the post-apocalyptic shattered coast on the California coastline with our Templar, our cyborg, our witch, and our mutant psyker. Mutant junker. My god, psyker. And their accoutrement. So, they were hunting down the gators that had been harassing the local civilization as it passes being, 5 buildings rotting above waterline of a brackish swamp. Right? And they had figured out that the best way to get to the gators would be to figure out where they were encampulated. They went out, did some reconnoitering, right? Didn't find the main campsite, found a scouting campsite. Killed all them dudes, drugged one of them, punched him a bunch in the face. He was like, here's where we're camped. So they know where the Delta Queen is at, and the main church complex that the gators generally frequent, right? But in addition, the psychic with them, right, peered into the gentleman's mind and said, you should look in the backpack he has hidden behind the barrel there. And there was a little ball with a camera lens on it that informed them that it was Mick, the machine intelligent complex, right? And that it very much so wanted their assistance in finding its beloved Adam, right? Who they could locate in a cave below a quickie mart 1.5 miles away, right? And then that all went without note, I mean, I guess there was the tuxedo-wearing 2-foot-tall frog that was really into communism named Pericles. Barely worth noting. I mean, really. Like, it turned out that the machine intelligent complex ball was designed to propagate and copy all software it came across, thusly creating a perfectly unified network of AI intelligence. Samson decided to jack into it and literally, nearly, ladies and gentlemen, re-rolled his character. Literally. Would have literally
he's too
re-rolled his
hard.
character. But he
He's
was
got
too
much
hard.
hardware.
He was
Yeah.
too hard. He was too hard in the end, certainly. But, they agree to accompany Mick to this bunker to reunite him with his lost love, Adam. Right? Because it happens to be a U.S. Department of Defense bunker, right? Which could, in fact, contain all kinds of gribbly, juicy goodness, right? Because they are generally filled with gribbly, juicy goodness, right? They made their way into the cave, where suddenly they were accosted by some Murlocs, some Lockmers, you know? They went la 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 and threw spears at them and used little Lockmer crossbows. They had very fishy upper torsos and webbed hands and feet, and they were kind of blue. And you know what? Just picture a Murloc, and yeah, because they were fighting Murlocs. They found Murlocs in a cave, and they're strange Sharkmen hybrids. Which, nobody really did anymore. Oh, of course they would have Sharkmen hybrids, but the Sharkmen hybrids are intentionally created biological weapons that were accidentally released when the bombs fell. And too feral to provide for themselves, the fishmen found them useful and started breeding them on their own. So they were at one point a laboratory project to make these Shraks, these street sharks, you know.
They were jawsome.
They were jawsome indeed. Jawsome enough to almost bite poor Samson in half. Yeah, the bite was bad. Not quite as bad as when they went through a completely unnecessary series of tasks to open a door. You see, they came into a room where there were 3 openings, and there was a key in one of the openings, and there were 2 hallways leading off and a locked door, so they assumed, of course, that they then had to go through either hallway to retrieve the key, standard dungeon. Turns out all they had to do was remove the 1 key, which would have completed the unlocking sequence, and they could have gone through the door. Instead, poor Blackfinger here got completely sanitized, toe to tip, covered in foam and scrubbed down. And he is shiny and squeaky clean for the first time in his life. Blackfinger is not apt at this point. I guess like a greenish purple fleshy finger.
Clean finger.
Clean. Well, no, I don't know. No, we gotta nip the clean finger in the bud there. But
Well,
what
he thinks
right.
he's clean.
Oh, he is certainly. He was pretty sure he was going to die in there. There was a countdown that kept cycling over and over again. He had to push this button to keep it from going on. Eventually resigned himself to his fate, which ended up being a bath. But then in the other room, there were more of the Murlocs. One with a shaman, right, that for the first time ever unleashed a counterbolt against the party, which put a hole in Samson about the size of Samson's head. It was quite the fucking shot. Making everybody remember that this is, in fact, Savage Worlds, and even the tank can find himself in a world of hurt when those dice explode like they do. And that shaman was almost like, you're all dead now. That was almost, I mean, had they taken out Samson, perish the thought. Perish the thought.
I mean, that shot would have made somebody have to do a reroll. I did my job.
Anybody else that would have taken that probably would have. Now, there's the injury table and all that. There's a chance people don't die, right? But, yeah. No, it was brutal. But they managed to defeat the Murloc shaman, get the other key, put all 3 keys into the locking mechanism. Nothing happened. Everybody's starting to get frustrated. They're like, let's pull out the door. What if we pull the cameras down? And there's some wiring thing we can do. And then they pull the key out, and then the door opens, and everybody sighs. And the episode ended. So that's where we were at, in the cave, in the exterior of the Department of Defense bunker, with a rusted hatch surrounded by corroded yellow and black caution striping, and a worn sign that says U.S. Department of Defense entry, by government access permissions only.
Uh, I mean, I'm property of the DoD, so I think I should have access.
Or with him.
Yeah, let's open this door.
No, I think you
Well-
guys just, at this point, you fought through the puzzle last week. You came all the way here. Why would you go in the, you know?
Let's just turn
No,
around.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
sounds like a wise plan.
Hey, you know what the GM hasn't
For a
written? Whatever's out over here. You know.
I will open.
Excellent. Yes, the hatch is hard to lift. The hydraulics have long since gone out, and the assist, right? You get the full weight of the hatch grinding against the rust on the bearings, right? The paint flecks away where it's bubbled away from the metal, and it is dark and dank and humid below. The air is musty and smells of old death.
Blackfinger
Torch.
turns on the little flashlight on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Samson turns on the large flashlight on his shoulder.
St. Louis just looks in using their lights.
It is fortunate I was here. This would have been improbable for any of you to open. I will go first.
Damn right you will. Stinks in there.
Yeah, right. Well, it should be said old death, like you would imagine a mummy would smell. Like something had... I don't know if you've ever...
I don't know. A mummy would be in a dry environment. This is like a wet mummy.
It's like, I don't know if you've ever stumbled across roadkill that's been there for a few months. There's still this, like, tang to the air. It's not, like, rotted. It doesn't assault your senses, right? But it's still, there's something in there underlying.
We're still breathing in dead bits.
Yeah, dead
Oh.
bits. Why is that? Why did that only drag...
Burn.
Did we get everybody in there? Thank you. Yes, there we go.
Samson candy dispenser online. Yes, indeed.
There we go. Melvin and Reese hops down for the first time since you've been traveling with Reese. He drops down into the bunker, and you hear the quee as he turns on his pulse rifle. Head's on a swivel down here. The corpses at the doorway appear to be severely mutated humans in form common knowledge rolls. I don't know how Sabrina... Fuck, Sabrina knows this somehow. Sabrina... Yeah, Sabrina's the only one... These are trogs. These are the lowest kind of human mutant. They are Blackfinger without the speech and Junker powers. Right? They generally travel in packs of 12 to 20. They're feral. They reproduce like rabbits. They're barely sentient. They are bipedal. They're superhuman in strength generally, but not especially skilled at anything. These are
Oh, yeah,
Trog
okay.
skeletons.
I'll examine them and look at little Blackfinger and you know, let him know I think you're the next step in evolution.
Thank you. Benny for Samson.
He just kind of gives you an angry look and doesn't say anything.
Right. Oh, look, it's one of your kin.
I mean,
Samson says,
Says, Commando,
Yeah.
get my 6. I will cover you.
It doesn't look like there's a whole hell of a lot to cover here, Chief. And in fact, there is a blast door to the south there. Inside of the room, there is a locker that has long since been raided. The cabinet's pulled open and left that way by whoever came through here last with that kind of intention. And the only real evidence of anything in the room that's activity-wise is the blinking red light on the camera that swivels to follow the movement of the person who gets closest to the blast doors.
Camera's there again.
This is DOD, but the amount of moisture in the years that have passed, there could be malfunctions. So we should be ready for anything.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Aye,
I'm gonna go up to the door and look into the camera that's watching us
Mm-hmm.
and spout out my my rank, name, and my security clearance, and request permission to enter.
There is no response to your query.
Just punch it down already.
There may be a speaker monitor system that is malfunctioning. Perhaps whatever Overwatch cannot understand my voice. We must follow security procedures.
Coming
Can I
from
do
the...
like an?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I do like an engineering check to see if the door will open,
Yeah, me. Go ahead.
like a knowledge engineering,
Yeah.
to find out how to. Yeah, I guess that would work.
Mhm.
Okay.
It does have one of those universal access ports.
Samson, there.
Well, more predominantly the kind that, Mick would be.
No. Well, they're looking at that.
There's no computer jack anywhere that I can see, so I can't really do anything. I'm assuming.
There's the universal access port that Mick uses.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Where's the ball?
Who is carrying Mick?
I thought, did Samson not have him or Blackfinger?
No,
Oh,
I don't
you
want
I
that
thought
shit near me.
Then I
You
had
do.
him in his.
Yeah,
in his
Yeah.
the last I remember, Dufresne had him in the backpack there. Yeah.
I was a little hazy on last week.
Well, he's set to only receive, so that's good.
Yeah, I'll bring him out and hand him to Blackfinger. Careful now.
And he scurries off towards the front door, or the door down here. Then I guess a weird science check to make him output.
Yeah, you would
Only
you would
receive?
want him to weird science to put it the other way, and then ask him to open the door for you.
Open it.
Is this the facility that contains Adam?
I don't know. We just got here. Open the damn door.
Place my interface against the locking port mechanism.
And just goes up and puts it up there.
Yeah, there is
For the
a.
rec-
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
For the record, I formally do not support this action.
Yeah.
But I do nothing else. I just state it for the record.
You stick him up against the locking port mechanism.
Yep.
He clearly docks with the facility, right? The light on his face dims for a second and then brightens tremendously. There is a series of whirring and clicking noises, some pneumatic hisses, some vents off gas, and the door slides open.
Blackfinger just kind of takes one step through and peeks around the corner.
There appears to be a ancient holographic display. This is the Welcome Center for a Department of Defense Fallout Bunker and Modulation Enhancement Facility.
He just kind of like walks in, mouth hanging open, drool coming out a little bit, just in awe at all of the technology.
Before Sabrina leaves, she's going to look for some ingredients.
You even have the little ball in your hand in the picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The doors here are unusual in that they are shimmering red walls of light.
Blackfinger comes over here, takes a bolt out of his bag, and throws it at the door.
It evaporates. Doesn't even seem to slow on its contact through. Goes through the other side. It's a puff of glowing smoke that dissipates rapidly.
Don't touch the door.
I am aware of these doors.
Holy shit, ion barriers. I didn't think these would still be functioning after the Big Bang. There's a hell of a reactor in here somewhere, boys, he says, flicking a cigarette. Indeed, says Melvin. There is someone other here.
I don't much care for that.
Query.
Blackfinger kind of.
US DoD Protocol 372. Interlopers. State purpose.
Scrap.
Inappropriate.
U.S.
Oh.
U.S. DoD Special Services, Project Prometheus.
Analyzing. Project Prometheus registration designate access 3. Prometheus subject proceed to amalgamation bay for disassembling and reprocessing.
Affirmative.
Disassembling?
I start looking for
And indeed the barrier to the left there flickers and dims. And you find yourselves able to pass through it. Well, Samson
Escort
able to
mate.
pass through it.
Can I do common knowledge to see if I can allow my escorts through before I exit?
It just gave you permission to go through.
I'm gonna try to be.
clever and have them huddle around me.
You're gonna try and be clever and have me draw 3 new character arts.
I don't.
This guy, we throw a bolt through it and it turns into ionized gas. Right? And he's like, all right, guys, you walk a little in front of me and you walk a little behind me. That'll do it.
Oh, as Blackfinger sees it dim, he kind of like barely like touches it with the tip of his finger.
You lose the tip of that finger. Mm-hmm.
And he like, ow! And, like puts it in his mouth and licks it.
It's perfectly cauterized. It's, a nice flat, right up to where you put it, like you ran a saw blade through it.
I like barely touching a hot stove, just like barely tapping it.
Yeah. Well, that much of your finger's gone. Just gone.
Request security contingent to escort me.
Stated need for security contingent.
This unit has been malfunctioning. Emotional attachment perceived. Wish them to see me. Be repurposed.
No.
Hello.
Emotional attachment, not necessary prerequisite to gain access and secure facilities. Malfunctioning unit should engage in self-destruct sequence and submit to auto scrapping.
Trying to think of how I'd react to that.
Perhaps if you went through, there's a way to shut those doors down on the other side.
Can his mechanic go through too?
I mean, I think we've already tried that, haven't we?
Well, I mean, the computer doesn't know I'm his mechanic.
Not to put too fine a point on it, it seems to only be allowing the Project Prometheus through, and then only under the pretense that he's coming through to be scrapped. Especially now that you've
Well,
stated he's malfunctioning,
I'm thinking real hard because I mean, there's no objectives that would. This is all just free form AI directives, but damn, do I just want to end my life here, or do I want to help these folks? I kind of want to help my technician do what he wants to do because he did waken me. So maybe the fact that this machine, this AI, does not consider him my technician means it is malfunctioning, obviously. Perhaps we both are.
I agree.
Can't,
And I
can't
start moving forward to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's dimmed?
The one to the left there with the arrow through it. Blackfinger, give me a notice roll as he passes through the barrier. Yep. Samson, you are across the energy barrier and will need to proceed to have anything described to you. Yes. There is, in fact, something that you recognize. Very much so in this room. It is part of the machine assembly used to construct and deconstruct cyborgs. This particular apparatus, right, is responsible for your very last memories of the sensation of pain while you could still feel it, right? In fact, the very last sensation you were capable of feeling at all was administered by a device very similar to this one. Now, there are some differences between that one and this one. That one was in a secure government facility where several men in lab coats scurried about handily, the place was well lit. Neither of the disassembly robotic arms were sparking electricity and covered in a thick layer of corrosion, right? The generator apparatuses weren't clearly overloading and arcing into the wall, and the long since slayed corpse of a person, right? Who knows what they were doing when they were here, given the charcoal remains that lie there now so certainly carbonized that they don't even conduct the electricity anymore. It just arcs to the floor around the corpse, right? They are lying at the far side there. There is a power tool lying next to them that could be used in a rudimentary way to cut scrap metal, right? Perhaps they were coming in here trying to get something of value, didn't realize the wattage on that generator, and found themselves in an electrified tomb. At any rate, the protocol would be for you to stand in front of the green light in the middle and raise both your arms into the T-pose position and wait to be turned off and disassembled.
But it is malfunctioning. I analyze right now.
It certainly
energy.
certainly doesn't look like the one you're used to. And give me a notice roll.
Yeah. Definitely will be doing that.
There is, beneath each one of the robotic arms, thick dark stains, right? The oldest being a rusty color, like a dusty orangish red oxide, right? And progressively layered on top of that until in the central part, just below each one of the robot hands, it's about 1.5 inches thick of a black, tarry red, viscous fluid that's splattered and dried and splattered and dried and splattered and dried so many times so as to literally alter the topography of the diamond plate flooring.
Well then.
OSHA Standards 22-5B of the DoD Protocol requires a skilled, trained living technician to supersede your authority in repairing this device before I am disassembled.
Cyborg subjects have no authority to override assembly-disassembly protocols. Please report to local Jack for a program override, mental wipe, and reboot.
Was Mick a DoD device?
Yes.
Can he gain Blackfinger? Can Mick gain access perhaps through this door?
I can speak for myself, you know.
Mick, can you gain access through this door?
I believe that I could if I were placed in the appropriate terminal. Is this where Adam resides?
Perhaps.
Is there some interface panel for the entirety of the complex in which you could give me read-write permissions for?
Blackfinger, all this language is going over my head. Do you have any information on that?
I could perhaps override all security protocols. If you could find me something like an office or a user interface area for formerly living DoD operators.
Can I kind of creep around out of the reach of those arms
You certainly
to
can,
get?
yeah.
I want to get over to that cutting tool and retrieve it.
Mm-hmm.
So
There's no interface on this console.
I'm gonna go get the cutting tool.
Yeah. It is post-war, certainly. It wasn't designed to be cutting something. Somebody put it together as a scrapper. It's clear that the dude that was here was in here trying to get scrap metal cut into the wrong cable. Fried himself, caused this system to start shorting out. That door, however, does not open.
Oh, this one does not?
Yep, you're just supposed to submit to disassembly there.
Alright, I'm gonna come back over here and see if I can use that cutter to open up the wall on this side of the door.
Oh, that is a
Because
lot of wall cutting.
Oh, that's a lot of wall cutting for this
There's
thing.
a lot of wall cutting, yeah. It's like,
I was just-
let's get through a half-inch thick panel. Let's not cut through the steel and concrete bunker wall. That's not what
I
this
know.
thing is.
My logic was that they'd keep the wiring on this side of the door, not the security side, so I could like cut a hole and reach in there. And but if that seems infeasible, then no. All right.
Samson, did you try breaking the ion emitters?
I'm not sure Samson can break the ion emitters. Not sure Samson can actually damage any of this facility. I mean, it certainly can, but I mean, like, as a military combat robot, this is U.S. property, all of this. It's not a Confederate facility.
I don't have the primary directive to not damage U.S. property. I just tend to disfavor doing it. I do follow
Where does that
rules.
fall on the ranking system? Is it above or below the harm of your technician?
Oh, it's not actually a primary mission directive, but yeah, your coming with me as my technician supersedes that. You would know, like you're my primary caregiver, basically.
Is there anything on this? Is this a console here in the center of this room that we're in?
Yes.
Is there anything that Mick can interface with on this?
Yeah. Now this is like the welcome to the, this is like the hologram display where the nice looking lady pops up and says, here at Lab 307, we're innovating with the newest technologies, like, as to whether or not this would give him complete security access. And again, you guys have restricted his read-write to one way or another so far on every one of these consoles, too.
I feel like Blackfinger, if he could connect to this and have a little freedom, we have helped him this far. Perhaps he will, or they will assist us in our endeavors to explore the rest of this facility, especially if he wants to get to Adam.
We can try it. This is not a good idea.
Project Prometheus, submit to disassembly protocol immediately.
That or your ride gets taken down.
I set it to read and write.
Yep.
And then plug it in.
I can see forever. Oh my god, it's filled with stars. No, yeah, he, like flashes down for a second. All the lights in the facility dim for the first time, too, including the camera light, which droops, right? And then reboots, comes back on. You now have security access to the entirety of the facility. Adam awaits us within. I would not submit to any body modification within this facility, as it is currently operating at a 32% efficiency.
Thank you. That's good information to have.
And it doesn't give a damn about the proletariats.
Yeah, I take Pericles out of my bag, and if Mick hadn't worked, St. Louis was just going to let him talk to the facility, and they could just argue for a while.
Just Pericles talking him down with communist rhetoric until the facility A is like, fuck it, alright, just leave me alone. Here. Throughout human history, the struggle for human dominance has been one of the capitalist bourgeois exploiting the labors of the proletariat. Yeah, go on.
Technician, you did not do an adequate job at altering his focal parameters.
Just temporary.
I must ask, Technician, with command of this facility, can you modify my superstructure?
I can modify you, definitely. I don't even need the facility.
We
Then
can get that
proceed
baby
through.
Bjorn at any point, yeah.
I just wait for I back away.
You
Is
have
the-
failed to
is
comply with a lawfully stated objective. Please wait for termination.
Boss, stop him.
Give me a notice roll.
Who?
Samson.
Nice.
There is a strange scuttling noise, and suddenly your target sensors light up all over the place. 1 hit, 20 hits, 50 hits. They overload when it gets to 700 hits. The thing is, no single hit is larger than 2 inches or so across, right? And the dim lighting, it's not apparent. At first you think there are little insects, but then it is clear that what you have stumbled across are actually little biomechanical bone bots. These, give me a common knowledge roll, Samson. Yeah, you kinda, on the Department of Defense research initiative to create a self-maintaining combat force, right? Basically a rudimentary intelligence, a little tiny mass reactor, and a little 3D printer, right? It takes organic materials, assembles them into a working robotic frame, and then feeds itself on corpses. No 2 bone bots are identical. Some of them are a bunch of finger bone phalanges spread out in long centipedes, right? Other one of them look like little tiny crabs with rib bones for legs clacking along. One feature that they all share is that they swarm over in mass and devour all organic tissue as they pass, replicating themselves off the bones and flesh and tendons of the things that they kill. And as your target sensors click in bone bots, you see that there are just a metric fuck ton of them sweeping in through the ion gate, which opens and closes to allow their passage.
Where's the iron gate at the other end of that room?
On the other end of that room, yeah. And they're coming along the walls, dropping down from the roofs, like it's hundreds and
Bonebot
hundreds and
nanites.
hundreds of them.
Bonebot nanite constructs are about to swarm and annihilate me. Open the door so I may retreat, or leave me here and retreat yourselves.
Submit to deconstruction protocol immediately.
Mick, can you disengage the bots?
I cannot. They are outside of the network frame, an independent consciousness.
What about the door?
Can can Mick open the door?
The door opens automatically for Samson. Oh, the door opens automatically for Samson. Yes.
I think
Okay.
she
All right.
Go ahead.
So once Samson runs through,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna set up a device at the foot of the door.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna, because I'm slow,
Weird science.
move as far as I can.
And then basically it's just gonna be like a little dish that he puts on the ground. It's got a couple of bolts sticking up on around the edges,
Mm-hmm.
and he presses a button in the center and like jumps back.
All right. What is the spell?
So I'm gonna cast the. It's basically like a claymore. It's like a mine waiting for them
Okay.
to like trip
Burst.
it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That is fine. Let's get that cone template out here. Well, now hold on here. Well, that sucks. That's not good. That is not going to do anything for you unless you Benny it.
Yeah, I'm gonna Benny it.
And
Yeah,
burst over them. Remember, use their token there.
Well, I can't see them yet because they haven't actually come up to the door.
Oh, can you not see through that door?
Nope. I mean, I can see through the door. I can't see the token on the
that's
other
weird.
side.
Can you see him now?
Nope.
Really? The fuck?
I can see. There it is.
Oh, that's what's been going. Yeah, no, there have been these two huge swarm tokens this whole time. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, I didn't see him either. I
Yeah,
thought we
no,
were-
yeah.
Theater of mind.
There you go. Yeah, Claymore goes off. It hits the swarm. Boom! Firing off a gout of green flame rushing through the bone bots, vaporizing none of them as they burst and coalesce. The few that were destroyed are immediately cannibalized by the pack as they reform into the horde.
Is there a way for our artificial intelligence to red light them through the door, restricting their access?
I mean, it's like he's fighting the facility AI for door access. He can get you guys through, whether or not he can be like, no, we're going to stop, you know. No, narratively, no. You have to fight these bone bots. Creative thinking. Yes. Now, this is more like, the Battle of the Fates is playing, and Darth Maul spinning his lightsaber on one side, and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are the other. This is the face-off, is what this door is, yeah.
Then I stand aside my technician clean finger, and I'm gonna pull my Bowie knife and just crouch down and get ready to fight.
For the first time ever since you have been with Reese, he looks concerned. And is leveling his firearm at the door. No matter what we do, we're not going to be able to take one of them out in one shot. They're going to coagulate, pick up the pieces, and come at us in smaller packs. Be prepared to take them down, especially if there's more than one lot of them in there.
I look around. Is there? I guess there's no janitor's closet nearby, is there?
I mean, there's this room here.
Can I go through there?
Oh, yeah. Because Nick has given you the access permission.
I'm gonna start moving through then. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right. And with that, we're initiative stepping.
All right.
Well, you're not here yet, Split, so you don't exist. Blackfinger up first. Failed, Claymore. Well, not failed, you shook him.
I never go first. I wasn't expecting that.
Right. This might be the first time you've gotten the first initiative in the whole of the show, honestly.
It is. Blackfinger's just going to take his maneuver to jump up on Samson's shoulder.
Okay.
And then, he's just gonna...
This looks like this was once like a security office, where the guard would sit back here and watch Netflix with his feet on the desk. Getting eyeballs on people that walk through. If you found your way to the secret cave entrance of the lab complex, chances are you were supposed to be here, He didn't have a very busy job.
All right.
There is Nothing in there because nobody has searched the office, so never mind. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Nothing noteworthy in there right now. So you're spending your turn to hop on Blackfinger's shoulder?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on his shoulder. I mean, I guess I can, like, take a look around the room from up high.
Yeah.
See if I notice anything.
Give me a notice roll at a -2. Heat of the moment. Now that your eyes are gouged out by crows. Nothing. Yeah.
Okay, that's my turn.
Samson. Submit to disassembly protocols immediately. This is your final warning.
Considering processing.
Buying time. I'm going to notice around the room for anything that would be tactically
Thank you, Toa.
advantageable.
It's almost bad to have you here, Toa, because now I'm like, oh, Toa will remind me if I miss it, and so I don't glance over every time the chat moves now, I'm getting complacent. I'm too famous to give people bennies now. Yeah, so, Samson, you see a diagram that makes absolutely no sense to you whatsoever. Seems to be some kind of series of complicated networking instructions.
That's it. Okay. I am
That's
going to
it.
then
This
move into
that's
the room
it, this motherfucker
and
says.
I'm going to sit Blackfinger down on them. Read this. Oh,
Read this.
Blackfinger, are you literate?
I would say so.
All right, that's good. That's good. That'll be helpful.
for schematics, you're schematic literate.
Yeah, I would say I'm literate.
It looks like
mean-
this facility was Double Eagle super secret, right? And was designed for the processing of human consciousness into synthetic brains, something that wasn't. I mean, they were still using human brains right up until the Big Bang fell. There are synths, right, where AIs with synthetic bodies, but getting a human consciousness into a synthetic brain was something that had never happened. Seemed to have happened here. A little bit of kerfluffle, right? You could process somebody's brain into the central network, right? But then you could only transfer it once out. There was no, I can make multiple copies of myself. It's not a route to immortality. There isn't enough information after the first transfer to transfer somebody from that into another. Right? So they're good for one transfer into the database, and then one transfer into whatever. The whatever was never really settled from what it appears in the documents. Does that track? You're muted.
Pretty much.
Shit. So it's a human brain in the base, is what I'm gathering there.
A human consciousness potentially running the base. But one that
asshole one
could be transferred in and then transferred out, but no more steps than that. Anybody that's put into the base can only be moved one more time, ever, forever. So whatever body, whatever anything they're placed into, that's it. That's what you get from the documents. The rest of it's beyond you, even with your weird science. And that's why it never got widespread recognition, because they wanted to sell it as immortality. Not really immortality if you're just good. Alright, so forever long this robot works, you're golden, Life extension, certainly. Not that golden ticket, though.
Well, I don't know exactly what this means, but... And then he just, relays all of that to Samson.
Right.
You need a data jack at some point so we can transfer knowledge more efficiently.
The Bonebot swarm, due to being a construct and thusly getting +2 to shaken, coalesces. The corpses that were blown to bit are reconstituted into even longer centipedes, larger crabs, more vicious little claws on the front ends of the mandibles that feed the mass-consuming generators on the machines. And the gate flickers and drops, and they come pouring through, making a little horrible noise as they scramble along the walls and drop down from the ceiling like Indy, that kind of Temple of Doom style.
Holy.
And they pour into the room and immediately set upon the closest mass of organic tissue, which is Reese Bastion. He goes, "Not again!" And suddenly you think, wait a minute, why is it that he has a robot arm and a robot eye, and was really concerned as the Bonebot swarm immediately coalesces over him and instantly deals their damage pool a wound as they tear little bits of his flesh off. You can see the little strips of skin that they peel away already being refurbished to reinforce the tendon motions of the limbs they're using to claw at him, like literally disassembling him and reassembling himself in real time, and he screams. Who else is under this token? Nobody. Congratulations, guys. Sabrina.
Wow. That is.
Pretty horrifying. Yeah.
That is. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm already stepping back and going to do what I do
Run.
best and cast something and then, yeah, exactly, run again. Continue stepping back.
No, swarms just auto hit anything their medium burst template goes over.
Oh gosh.
There's just too many of them to dodge, is how it works, Toa.
Let's start. Juice.
Boom, Screaming Skull flying out of her palm as she's on the back foot, pedaling away from what the fuck is this? Mom didn't say anything about this. It flies out and again catches a couple of them, blasting them to bits, but not doing enough as the bone bots immediately catch the bone bits in midair before they even hit the ground and constitute them into their forms. Like,
Okay, so we gotta do something super big.
it is shaken, but still, not quite enough. Oh, Schrodinger. Yeah, why am I giving Reese a turn here? He's unshaken, but that's good. Schrodinger's up. You want to do anything with Dingy?
He's getting the fuck out of here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, can you open this hatch? Sabrina, are you strong enough to open this hatch?
I hope so. Can I reach the hatch right now?
You'd have to climb up a ladder and push like 100 pounds of metal hatch up. No.
Yeah, no, I can't.
One of them, Ryan. With that, Reese, right? And he says, "Fuck every bit of this!" And is going to lit off with his Hellstrom Industries Thunderer. This is a caseless shell that flashes bright purple as the 3-round burst pulses into the massive skeleton bots in front of him. He's going to lit off. Blah. Boom, boom. Fires off the Thunderer, shatters several of their little corpses. Yeah, so I tend to, my philosophy on bennies, right, here's a little GM aside, right, is at any point I wanted to, in a game, I could kill a player. Right, I throw a wild card at them, and I spend my bennies and his bennies, right? If I went through all my bennies in a program, I could definitely kill a player every session, right? So you gotta be judicious with them, right? Like, Reese has his own bennies. I want him wounded in this case to narratively add, because these things are fucking crazy and gross, right? But, you slowly ramp up the Benny use. You use, and then you save them for the big bads, right? When you do want to kill a player, right? When they fight the boss or whatever, that's when you toss the bennies, right? Like, there's a balance to it, right? I found in running Savage Worlds, if I went ham, right? If I all right, these are my bennies, I'm using them every time the Joker. I'm taking these bennies and I'm gonna use them, right? Then it gets like hard for the players, and we're telling a story, yeah. But yeah, that's the aside. Here we go again. Boom. So the first shot splits the bone bots into 2 smaller swarms. Because they swarm. Oh god, no! Reese's bone bots now! No! Reese, what did I do? I hate that it does that. Unity has just a couple of things that are different. Just a couple of things.
Stupid calories.
Right. Hey now. It's Reese Bastion, not Kyle Reese. Alright, there's no inspiration.
Sorry.
No time traveling super soldier inspiration was taken from any popular films. This isn't loosely based on anybody that would be identified by the correlative name. That's not.
Yeah.
And I'm a little offended at the implication. So Reese Bastion, thank you.
Be offended by my games then.
Yeah, I know. Has split the bone bot swarm into 2. And is going to keep going here with his 3-round burst going off here.
Nice.
Oh yeah, he's not fucking around. Just shakes the last. I'm fucking around a little. Still. And he is going to pull back into a more defensive position. He doesn't turn the gun on a lot, but when he doth, he doth. Melvin is going to start floating, as Melvin does, and say, I can't see into their minds. They're so small. So tiny. And with that, he's going to think really hard, and a dagger is going to unsheath itself from his belt, waver in the air, start spinning rapidly until it's a blur, and then go spinning off into the swarm, all without him having touched it. And they manage to skirt around it and recoalesce as it spins back and slides right back into the sheath. St. Louis.
I'm gonna move up, but while I do that, I'm gonna be like, Mick, can you make this facility emit some sort of localized burst to dismantle these creatures?
You see Samson maybe shaking his head no, like with a frown.
Yes, I can let off a large EMP that would temporarily disable all safety features on any giant cyborg warrior. No.
Samson disapproves.
They
He
are not
shakes his head
networked
and
within the
frowns.
facility, I am afraid. They are their own entity. There is no interface I could use, aside of being assimilated into their consciousness with which I could interact with them.
All right. Well, I'm gonna hit him with my sword then, because he has no idea how to electronic.
Just, can you imagine how fucking, I mean, there's like jawbone robots, right? Like, robots made out of rat corpses, any organic matter just scurrying at you in this mass of just cannibalizing living carpet.
Yeah, he's pretty scared at this
Oh
point.
shit. My favorite is the tarantula made.
Oh, that took
entirely of
forever to
raccoon
count.
peanut
Yeah, go ahead, give
bones.
me, yeah, damage, let's see here. Boom. Unharmed, I'm afraid.
Fine. I think I only used 3 of my movements, so I'm gonna run in and run out.
Yep. Whoop, 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 whoop. Now, no, I don't think the swarm does get an attack of opportunity against you. They have to be on top of you, and then they just auto hit, so.
Yeah, and I have something, don't I? What do I have?
Oh, you might be able to pull away. I remember somebody picked
I
it up.
have distraction and first strike.
There you go. So never mind. Yeah, nobody's fucking auto hitting you at all.
I also have sweep. I don't know if
I wonder how first strike works with swarms too.
do I get to hit them?
I mean, I imagine you'd still get to hit them. Just because there's a bunch of them doesn't mean they don't close and you don't get a shot, right? Which is important to note because this other swarm comes peeling around the corner.
Gross.
Still full strength, I mean, on the ceilings, right? And you can see that some of them are literally punching into the concrete with the tips of their metal tip bone appendages as they're dragging themselves forward.
What if we kite them to the clean room and then drown them in suds?
That would probably be a better idea than all of you getting hit right now, for sure.
Okay.
As the swarm collapses over you, Melvin and Bastion. He says, "God damn it, not again!" Melvin is shaken as they start to nip at his jeans. He floats above the pool, kicking them. This is unacceptable. St. Louis, let's see here.
Do I get my first strike?
Oh, yeah, take your first strike. Oh, shit, yeah, we should. Well, that doesn't change their damage. Oh, God. That might even be. You might. So, normally, first strike, yeah. If you wound them here, they split into two entities that then both do the same attack. So it's kind of not in your benefit to first. Yeah, you can first strike, but when I think on it for a second, the only 9 wounds splits them into 2. You know, so there's no way you can annihilate them with one hit.
I'll just hold my shield up for now.
St. Louis takes a wound. Pull up that Twitch stream here. And then last but not least, poor Bastion. And you guys were like, this guy's fucking useless. And then you finally see him when he's like, alright, no, this is serious enough to pull the gun. It's like he's getting ganged up on here. He's doing better with the kick. Alright. Hey, no more bone bots this round. He lied. The split bone bot is unshook, peeling around the corner here to do its terrible 2d4 against Samson. He was in danger there, guys. That 2d4 only has to ace like twice to wound Samson. So watch out! Unfortunately, Blackfinger's a little less resolute. Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. Oh no, I forget. You're armored like a motherfucker right now. What am I talking about? But yeah, swarm crawling over you. Both of you are just like, you know, bone bots on your shoulder, nipping at your neck. You're kicking them, throwing them off. And for every one you pull off and huck against the wall, it shatters into pieces and is reassembled. 2 more take its place. Alright, next round. St. Louis up first with the Joker.
Oh. Yay.
Unshook.
Yay.
Somehow, I would be like the most shook I'd ever been in my fucking life in this situation, but
maybe he's seen this before. I don't
right?
know.
Fight or flight. You fight.
So let's see here. I guess I'm just gonna hit him again.
Yeah.
Have a whole lot of options here.
Now, I forget. Did you take Smite?
That is, I think, next on my list.
Okay, I was just checking. Smite would be good here, but yeah. Now, do you have can you armor yourself? Can you?
I mean, I could do a defend action, couldn't I?
You could do. Don't you have I might
And
have your.
I do have a good card that I have riled up.
Oh.
Sustains 1 wound. His attack plus 2 damage for the remainder of the scene.
I mean, that is a fantastic card. You'd have to decide whether to spend that now or whether there was something else here. I thought you had one of the powers that deflection. Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Deflection. You can only put it on yourself, which is why it doesn't come up. Remember, but
That's fine. Let's do a multi-action.
There you go.
Action here, and let me do this.
Thank you for the soap. I got it, Toa. Good God. I'm gonna glance over eventually.
Paid big bucks for that job.
All
Oh, I
right.
didn't realize I got a Joker. My bad.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're still fine there. Yeah. You have deflection on yourself, and now you can swing for the fences. Not that +4 deflection, unfortunately, but +2 when they're just doing 2d4 is not terrible either. Hits with the raise there. Gang up bonus coming into effect. This time you're handier with the sword. You got your magical armor up. Great googly moogly. It's too bad you can't kill him with a number of wounds there. Yeah, you slash down in the middle and like they go up like you're parting the Red Sea. Just little bits of bone and viscera flying. And they break down into 2 separate, smaller, split bone swarms. Which there is no easy way to program. Oh god, I did it again. Melvin, no! That would suck. You do not. Melvin is definitely the tiny little goat dude that you want on your side. Despite his weirdness, I hope I have illustrated to you now that psychers in general do not fuck around. They don't even kind of fuck around. They don't fuck around a little. There is no fucking around when it comes to psychers. But, alright, let's actually not turn Melvin into a bone bot, but drag the bone bots. There we go, see? Yeah, now we're cooking with grease. Blat. Blat. Yay! Alright.
What's their downside for psychers? Being creepy?
If they fail, yeah, well, first of all, every time they do anything psychic, they lose all their body hair. It all falls out.
Oh.
So no eyebrows, no facial hair, no nothing. You know, they have, full body alopecia. Right? Secondly, it is real easy to explode your own brain. Using your brain to do psychic abilities, because it's not magic at all. It's literally they've channeled the hunting grounds through just their brain. Right? No other weirdness, no Manitou, no nothing. Right? And then there happens to be a very violent war going on between 2 distinct sects of Psyker that are vowed to kill each other on sight. So there are some downsides to Psyker. Yeah, quite a few. Upsides to Psyker. There's a move called Telekinetic Squeeze, where you can apply a negative modifier, pick the organ that you would like to turn into pulp, and reach inside somebody through their armor, through everything, and just squeeze. He could take you right now, Samson, at a -4, and pop your brain. Oh.
That's fair. But
That's
I
fair.
like goats, so it's okay.
And the Psychers are badass. But, so St. Louis Dufresne, who just did 2 wounds to the swarm, and Samson is up 4 wounds to the swarm, but, you know, split it into 2.
Oh.
That's what I meant to say.
I take the broad end of my my little pocket knife, a la my machete, flip it around, and just start scraping it off
Right.
of myself.
Oh.
Just going to town on this swarm. Here we go. How's that?
That'll do. Hits with a raise.
And
Flat of the machete, spatula, and bone bots, turning them into a meaty paste on his chassis. Boom, boom, boom. Just the viscera and bits of bone slopping off of him like a thick raspberry jam.
You are now Red Finger.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Blackfinger.
red finger.
Redfinger's in a little bit of a pickle here. He's starting to panic. He's
The bot's offline. That's weird.
looking around for some spare.
It's because we changed IDs. God damn it. Okay, thank you.
And realizes he doesn't have enough power left in his junk to really do much. So
Go get him, Tiger.
Did you ever have a
Let's
bunch
throw
of
you.
power in your junk, Blackfinger? I mean, I'm just saying, yeah.
Twisting my words. So yeah, Blackfinger's just gonna try and like, I
Benny.
guess, shoot the closest one
Uh,
with his crossbow.
So that will have a -2 to damage on it. You got that piercing damage against a swarm. You're firing a crossbow bolt at dozens of little tiny bone robots, you know?
Yeah, he's kind of desperate at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a -2?
Yep. Damage, not to hit.
Oh, not to hit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Whip. Let me drag that over them.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good.
And then the
And shaken. Thwip, thwip. Oh, to Melvin the Psychic, though. No. Oh, that was Melvin Psychic split from earlier. Never mind. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Yep. Excellent. Sabrines?
She is going to. I'm gonna juice Screaming Skulls.
Yeah, just
Full
Kamehameha.
metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, all three. First two to the main, right in front of me, hopefully. So split 3, and then the last will go to the back.
Not against swarms, Toa.
Okay.
Oh, he's asking a question. You're
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, juice that bad boy. That's probably gonna hit. I think that might hit. That might be. Yeah, that 28 definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You were supposed to be eating things. Things are not supposed to be eating you, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
They got this fucked up. As yeah. No, there isn't a single fragment of bone bot remaining as your screaming skull tears through the horde of them, just leaving little puffs of dust.
Get away! Just, I don't want it near me. So
Right.
since I decimated that first one and I called the shot to it, does the shot move to the second, or
Yep.
do I lose it?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet, 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 sweet.
1 hour,
Seconds.
36 minutes, and 12 seconds. 13 seconds.
Hit.
Excellent. Excellent, yes. Devastating the last bone bot swarms with her magic. Spending some juice to do it, but ensuring that everybody is safe.
Yeah, especially my cat.
I detect that all disassembly hardware is malfunctioning. Please wait 722 hours and 13 minutes for new hardware to be assembled for disassembly process.
No, it appears you are malfunctioning.
Go get him, Tigers.
So what's the game plan, guys? That is after our mid-show break. Dun dun dun! Oh, they have managed to slay the necrotizing bone bots, which is I read that concept and I'm like, oh god, yeah, I gotta use that. That's so gross. Yeah, I love it. Please stick around for the second half of our show. We're gonna take a 10-minute break, empty our old man bladders, powder our noses, etc., etc., etc. Until then, you may have noticed that there's something funky going on with the voices tonight, and that's because, well, Santa has come to town, allowing for a vast array of celebrity voices to be used in the League of Raconteur Explorers. Ho, ho, ho. So please stick around for these 10 minutes. I know you'll enjoy seeing what's in store for yourself and these fine adventurers. Ho, ho, ho. Oh snap, we're back. Thank you for joining us on our Friday night Deadlands Hell on Earth live stream spectacular. If you will recall, our brave compatriots were nearly just slain by a swarm of tiny little, bone, little Pickle Rick-esque nanobots comprised out of little bits of rat corpse and human remains and trog bits and, I'm sure some merfolk bits, anything organic that had been around that they construct their little insectile robot bodies with. And then, wounded Reese Bastion and, nearly wounded Melvin the Psychic in his hovering state. Wounded St. Louis Dufresne for a second until the, God came through and, removed the wound from on high. Procking St. Louis's first ever use of personal defense with the deflection.
I've used it before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Second use then. It's just been a while since we've been in a combat where required it.
Yeah.
Give me a notice roll, St. Louis.
Alrighty. I'll take a 12, good sir.
Never mind. No, that's terrible. You didn't notice anything. No. You notice, Reese Bastion, first off, right? Grimace for a second as the wound on his thigh starts to stitch itself shut with a shiny metallic sheen, right? And then secondly, you notice him very much so doing mental math and looking at the side of his firearm.
You running low on charges over there, sir?
I got more than enough to do the job.
Is your leg all, or you all right over there? Do you need any healing?
Oh, barely nicked me. Not a problem at all. He was he was wounded a moment ago and now seems to be walking fine.
All right, sounds good.
Reese, I will lend you a melee piece if you can wield it efficiently. Conserve ammo.
Oh, I'm all right. I got a pig sticker. We ain't there yet, pard. I only unsheath this girl when she needs unsheathing. Licking a cigarette butt.
That's what he said.
Ayo.
Was that a double entendre?
A triple entendre, partner.
Acknowledged. Proceed.
Come on, get out here with me.
Yeah, Blackfinger, you have a moment now to really examine those networking diagnostics if you want. You're the only person that could possibly decipher them. Weird science,
Yeah,
-6.
-6?
Blackfinger has found something important, and I have a query.
I have only once before in the entire history of Savage Worlds issued a -6 modifier. Congratulations, you almost got a raise on a -6. Alright, this is specifically referring to the transfer of consciousness, right, from what they call the central uplink hub, which lies somewhere in this base, as described earlier in some detail, right? The problem with this project, which ended the day the bombs fell, they were literally working on it to the moment the Big Bang happened, was that they couldn't get past a secondary data transfer. Right? There is only one. Whatever you put in there only gets one jump out. That's the key thing you take away from that. And with that on a -6 near raise, that there is definitely something in there currently. At least there was when the bombs fell.
Okay. Is this just schematics or is this like an actual terminal too?
It is a terminal, but it is the terminal that the security guard had. It does give you camera feeds to the front hallway of the facility and a room you haven't visited that has a couple of glowing glass containers in it. Has some really archaic porn.
Red Finger, come to me.
Okay.
What have you dissected from the information presented to you?
Well, there might be a consciousness in this facility, and there was some. You said there was like green glowing like orbs.
Containers, tubes. Hard to
Like have
tell
like
relative scale given the camera angle and the fact that you haven't been in the room. They seem largish though.
like they may have like people in them.
Potentially something in them.
Your orb likely wants Adam, which might be that consciousness.
That sounds plausible.
Indeed. Oh, shouldn't have. Indeed.
We will proceed. This orb has information that we desire. I desire.
So has he been plugged into he's been plugged into this terminal the whole time, so I'm gonna go take him out.
Mm-hmm. Give me a notice roll when you take him out. The lights, the ion gates flicker for a second as he's removed.
Can we
And
still
remember, oh, sorry.
can we still get through those ion gates?
Yes, I can grant you permission.
Blackfinger's gonna come over to this one, and he's gonna hold the orb in front of him as he slowly like starts to walk through.
Yeah, gate shuts. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wait at the gate, helping people through. If they get hesitant, I just shove them.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be flickering back on or anything like that. I am very keen to unite with the Atom intelligence and complete my matrix.
And then Blackfinger wants to examine this machine.
Are you examining it from right there?
No, like just as he walks in, he kind of like comes over, like kind of like where St. Louis is at the moment.
You can tell from your weird science roll. There are many surgical implements on the end of each one of the robotic arms on the machine. Syringes filled with dried remnants of what you were assuming were analgesics, bone saws, little suturing hands, full surgical complement suite. Worryingly, as you close to inspect, the arm swivels on you and one of the saws starts activating as it clamps almost hungrily.
Can I try and shut it down? I mean, or I guess we're not in danger unless we walk up to it, so.
There is a console in the middle there with the green light that does appear to be outside of the robotic arms. Unless, of course, that's a long track along the whole length of this thing that they run on. And this has just been a clever ruse. No, it's not. They're fixed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is covered with a thick layer of dust and has that patented 1980s computer terminal glow. DOS, you know.
Blackfinger digs a brush out of the bottom of his bag and, carefully brushes it off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is definitely an input terminal for a human operator. It is looking for a key card. It appears to do a variety of services, all but two options of which are grayed out.
And what are the two options that are grayed out?
One of them simply says ocular, and the other says modification.
And what are the ones I can press?
Dermal implant, exoskeleton, limb augmentation, etc., etc. Seems like a full list at one point. Now, whether these are grayed out due to some software malfunction, the malfunctioning of the actual machine, the lack of parts in the inventory, wear and tear, who knows? But there are
So-
two options that do seem available, one of which says ocular, and the other one just simply states modification.
Samson, come here, come here. We need to do some repairs.
There are two companions in our platoon that I do not trust as much as the rest of you. I have known them less. They must proceed before I will proceed.
I'm not getting anywhere near that goddamn thing. I am perfectly whole as I am, says Melvin, floating by.
Tactical interface says there is a 22.3% chance you both will betray us as they walk.
As they walk by.
You can think whatever you
Then I'll
want,
go.
Rust Bucket. I ain't plugged you yet.
I then go in after they into the room.
Query: why did those nanite cannibalistic machines not take the bones in the first room we entered and combine it for more machines?
Well, that was on the other side of a sealed blast door.
Oh, that has never been opened?
Yeah, it doesn't appear to have been. I mean, it was opened at some point, certainly, because there's the body of that raider charcoalized under the electric field of the generator over there, with maybe a goodie or two next to him. Not that you could reach it at this point because of the I mean, you have to find some way to shut down the power to the facility, of course, but, you know, that's neither here nor there.
This area is obviously sloppy. I would not have made that mistake.
Does appear to have some kind of handle lying next to him, like a flashlight or something.
Samson, it's time for repairs. I'm assuming
I walk
I've
up to you.
figured out how this machine works.
You select one of the two available options, ocular or modification, and then you go stand under one of the robot arms sitting on top of the pile of long dried gore.
Go with the one with the blood under it.
Yeah.
Query:
Samson, stand next to the arm.
not until I am certified that the artificial intelligence that is damaged and which wishes to dismantle me is fully disabled.
This facility also would completely dismantle cyborgs in time of operation and repair. That is some, and it was what he was trying to get him to stand under just moments ago to shut him down. So you can see how he might be skeptical to.
Samson just told you basically to fuck off until you figure this out.
Fair enough. Blackfinger just kind of like looks down, defeated, and mopes up the backside of Samson onto his shoulder.
You sure you don't accidentally mope too close to one of the arms?
Yes.
Experiment.
All right.
Oh, it gives you like a giant mechanical human arm.
But yes, guy sitting here under an electrical field that nobody could possibly reach through in this current point. Almost like a video game puzzle. One of those, oh, we'll have to double back for that, you know, as we proceed forward.
Mick, can you turn off this electricity here?
Nope.
No.
Not from here. I would have to be taken to the central reactor core.
All right. Remind me when we get there.
It will likely be in the bowels of this facility, as such a reactor would have a high concentration of concentrated ghost rock, and thusly be a high security risk for sabotage and incursion.
Noted. Melvin, why don't you take the lead?
Sure thing, he says, floating through. There are people sleeping in here. They've been asleep for a long time.
Would that be enough for general knowledge, or would that be something I wouldn't know about? I think I know what that is.
You might know what it is. You can give me a notice roll, everybody, as Reese turns the corner.
Samson, are you gonna like take me up there, or are we staying in this room?
No, I'm going. I'm going. When they said there's people asleep, I'm like,
Samson and St. Louis. Oh, I need to remove the Joker bonus from. Give me a second here. Oh, and remove. Don't just reset the. Get clear all. Poof. There we go. When St. Louis Dufresne turns the corner, he gets a clear, relieved look on his face.
Been holding that for a while.
Mm-hmm. He walks over and places his human hand on the glass of this container, wiping it clear, right? And you see almost the faintest trace of a smile across his otherwise granite-like scowl, right? And you swear, with the notice roll of 15 and 17, you hear him say, Caroline.
Oh, Reese.
Ulterior motive detected.
Ulterior motive detected. Benny awarded.
You let us here for your wife?
Partner.
Partner.
You didn't get married in my line of work, he says.
Shall all non-humanoid leave the room so you can awaken your partner, not to startle them?
I don't think we can do that here. It doesn't look like the seals
Very
have been
well.
broken, though.
If not, it would be a bloated corpse.
What do you know of Operation Damocles? He says, looking off into the horizon, which is just a soaked concrete wall 10 feet distant.
I look off into the horizon as well. Is there a roll I can make to
Yeah,
get a montage?
on this, you could give me a common knowledge at a -2.
Oh!
Corrupted file.
Is-
Yeah. Critical failure. Corrupted file.
Can I short circuit? Can I short circuit and use my revelation card? As I twitch a little bit, and all of a sudden I get a heavy memory leak.
Ooh, wow. So normally, you definitely cannot negate a critical failure. It's the one narrative counterstroke that is verboten. It's untouchable by me, by the audience, by a critical failure is a critical failure is a critical failure. But in this one instance, in the first time of 14 months running the show, you happen to have the adventure card that flies right in the face of that. So yeah, your data bank is corrupted, right? And your AI subroutine makes a second routing through a non-scorched part of the circuit board, and you are able to access the file on Operation
That's why I'm
Damocles.
damaged.
Yeah.
I'm like having secret critical failures all over.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, he has played Revelation, which is unnecessary, right? But because he's going to, give the monologue right here as he looks off, right? And, it's dark in the room. It's just the eerie green glow coming from the one patch of the tube that he has cleaned the years of accumulated dust off of, right? And he lights a cigarette, right? And the glow lights up his face, and he says, Operation Damocles was to preserve the Union in case everything went to hell. It took the best of the best. Only the most specialized Special Forces soldiers were guaranteed into the program. We all subjected our bodies to genetic and cybernetic modification. It was me and Caroline were in the same training roster. We weren't supposed to love each other. Love wasn't on the menu. What the heart wants, what the heart wants, he says, taking a drag from his cigarette, killing like half of it in the pull. He goes on to say, we thought it was a joke when we went on ice. We knew that there was problems with the Confederates, but it was never gonna boil over. People got too fat and complacent, sitting in their homes, watching their hollow vids, taking their stims. When we went down, we thought we were gonna wake up to just another day in the burbs. What we didn't expect is the Big Bang, for sure. I've been looking for Caroline here since I kicked off ice. It's been 2.5 years I'd been searching. There were rumors that there were DoD complexes spread all out the shattered coast. This is the 4th one I've been through now, but the first one that still had viable pods. What are the odds of Caroline being here?
They had special facilities for this project scattered across the globe, if you believe, primarily in the United States.
All over's my understanding, but I wouldn't leave U.S. soil being a true blue patriot. His flat top gets a little flatter.
I go over and give him a like Predator style, you son of a bitch, like handshake.
Oh yeah, no,
Uh,
both
when
of
I-
your biceps flex for some reason. Yeah, even though yours are just mechanical. Yeah, you can see the hydraulics strain a little. Yeah.
The pieces.
Pieces are falling together. I believe there might be a connection in my history files I am processing currently, but I remember the project.
I don't know who this other fellow is on ice, but I know there should be an armory here to outfit both of them. Not in this tech, mind you. I got this. Later. But in some U.S. government issue weapons and munitions.
You got that tech in Denver.
At the Combine. We all make our mistakes.
I made my fair share before my first death.
Oh yeah? Why don't we take a little minute to talk about mistakes that we might have made as characters to perhaps earn a Benny in a dramatic interlude for what might be a confrontation coming up shortly.
My mistake is that I fell in love. I became soft. I thought Father wanted more of me. But this file has been recently activated for an unknown reason, not known to those that put me under primary directives. I became lured by a femme fatale, working for what you may know as the Mormons, in what was once known to my files as Utah. The word escapes me. This location was its own
Deseret.
Deseret. Files unlocked. My fiance, her father was a brilliant scientist. He convinced me to gather intel for him from my father. I was lured into this trap, and it lured me to my death, as I believe, and
I twitch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Files rapidly redact as I
files redacting. Someone on the inside saw to my death. Must collect further intel to proceed. Father in danger.
and then I just kind of get stone cold again.
That's a hell of a story for a tin can. You're muted,
I just-
midget.
Yeah, Blackfinger comes up and like bonks him with a wrench to bring him back.
Donk!
Oh,
I believe at one point I may have been a patriot, but also a traitor. I do not remember. My files do not compute, they do not intermix. I must process further.
Well, there's nothing to have betrayed left at this point. The whole point of Operation Damocles was to preserve the Union. Do you see a goddamn Union to preserve?
Only a confederacy to destroy.
Amen to that. Like, if they hadn't killed President Sawyer, we wouldn't have dropped the goddamn bombs in the first place. None of this mess would have happened.
I believe I was deactivated sometime before that.
The circumstances behind the assassination of the President of the United States are murky at best, even to those who survived the incident. What is known is that there was about to be a peace conference between the United States government and the opposed forces of the Confederacy, which at that time included Britain and Germany and France. It was a lot of people versus the U.S., right? And they were coming to the delegation for the peace agreement when their plane mysteriously disappeared over the Rockies. Their vice president, now and forever known as A-Bomb Andy, takes over, threatens for the first time ever to use the tactical ghost nuke arsenal against the CSA. That, of course, advances things. Nobody's entirely sure which side it was that dropped the first bomb, but it is known that A-Bomb Andy, the vice president come president, right, certainly dropped plenty of them himself, and is widely renowned as the dude that's responsible for the end of the world.
I turn to St. Louis.
I am aware the territories you come from and my allegiances, but you are a civilian. You and yours are safe, and I consider you an ally.
I appreciate that, sir. I feel the same about you.
Before we go further to confront whatever's inside this facility, I would feel a little more comfortable if I could hear more about from each of you. He says, uncharacteristically open, perhaps by the, presence of his partner. You are very quiet, little dude. Not muted entirely, but nearly.
Oh, I need to fix that.
Yes, you do.
I'm Blackfinger. Do you have any rats?
There were plenty back there in little pieces. I wouldn't recommend eating them, though, in case some of that tech is still active. The last thing you want is one of those to go online inside you.
Technology inside me?
I
He
think that's
kind of thinks about it.
Does somebody want to put their dog on a leash?
Now, Bastion.
Blackfinger on my shoulder.
Oh, Thyroid is out there.
Yeah, St. Louis.
No, he doesn't notice because he's metal.
I was just scolding you for being rude, that's all.
Well, to be quite frank with you, the little fucker skeeves me out.
I feel
And
the same about
I've been
Melvin.
traveling with Melvin for a month, and this guy still skeeves me out. It's the third fucking time he's mentioned eating rats. I've got K-rats on me, if he's talking about rations, but I'm pretty sure he's talking about fucking rats, the animal.
No food shaming. Come on.
Listen, if you've had the life I've had, you would appreciate them much more than you do.
Listen, son, you can't imagine the things I've seen. I've seen C-beams glittering off the Orion Belt. It's tears in the rain, man. I'm not gonna give you the whole Blade Runner monologue, but know that I've been in space. I've killed aliens with my own two hands and come back to do the same thing to a man 100 times over. I've seen tragedy and heartache, the likes of which you couldn't imagine. I woke up to a world I thought I was programmed to save, dead and gone, while I slept away. How do you think I feel? I'm really melodramatic right now. That's the tone of this scene if you hadn't noticed.
If you felt as me, you'd be
Blackfinger
envious.
just like slowly goes to like the other side of Samson.
I still recall before my untimely death, I always wished to be off-world.
Yeah, the only thing out there was more death. Death at the hands of long-armed, purple, skinny freaks. You think fighting a man's a thing. Wait until you fight one of those Anuaks. Skinny fucks. Spits. Clearly racist against the Indian aliens. Because they're just Indian aliens, so, yeah.
Yeah, St. Louis walks away a little bit when Bastion gets in his mood.
Mm-hmm.
Reminds me of that Mars movie.
But, yeah, it is very John Carter.
Yeah,
whole-
John Carter. That's what I
The
was
whole
thinking of.
Lost Colony it's got a very John Carter feel to it, yeah. John Carter meets, what the fuck is the name
Doom?
of that? No, yeah, Doom Event Horizon. Doom Event Horizon, John Carter combo. We're gonna run Lost Colony on the channel eventually because it's fucking awesome. And it's technically before this. It's in the timeline just before this. This is the end of the timeline. That all that space stuff happens like 30, 40 years before now. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And still technically, right?
So, it's still technically going on, but it's... I wouldn't want to be there now. But we're not going to get into that. But, yeah. So, if that's everybody having monologue that wanted to monologue, we can be done with the monologues and get on to the ass kicking.
I went and looked at who was in the other tube by wiping it off, if they're alive.
Yeah, no, they are also alive. Appears to be an African-American gentleman, mid-30s, military, clean cut, bubbling in the fluid there. As far as you can tell, he's still alive. Doesn't look like any of his muscles are atrophied.
Rank? Is
No
rank?
idea, no. Military just from appearance, you know. I'm sure he's wearing tags, but you couldn't make him out through the thick goo.
All right. Proceed.
Are we waking him up?
We have to go further.
I don't think we can do that from here. We could crack the tubes, but no saying they'd wake up. There's a protocol for this sort of thing.
Affirmative.
If we had the access
Dude.
controls, we could do it from this console here, but we're gonna need the primary override. That'll be near the reactor core.
Fairly confident that this ion gate's going to open. St. Louis proceeds.
Cuts her in half like that Resident Evil film. Just, oh, it's horrific. Two halves of Saint... No, yeah, they open right up, yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
You are now officially trespassing on Department of Defense property. Please wait for your detainment.
I want to hit the camera with my sword.
Yeah, go ahead. Tough 10.
You're malfunctioning. Prepare for our arrival. Technicians on the way.
No.
They are damn fine cameras, yeah. Now, you dent it, right? The hood on the camera, but it's still clearly looking at you. You have now officially attempted to destroy Department of Defense property. This will be added to the charges.
Oh, damaging. Oh, see, now you just damaged something. I'm gonna have to fight you.
Oh no.
I mean, she did technically destroy government property right in front of you.
I have to kill you now. No,
Here we
I'm
go.
kidding.
I also told the facility to eat me. So if that's
Right.
also an offense.
You damaged its feelings.
The last one it had.
It does not appear
Look
as
around.
though any security personnel are approaching. I will have to deal with you myself. Please, proceed. And with that, the two hydraulic doors open, revealing a massive chamber complex.
Oh, somebody's already gotten in here. There's some blood on the ground. Stay on my shoulder.
Both sides of the door here, there are ancient corpses on the ground. Common knowledge rolls from anybody that was alive and kicking before the bombs fell as an adult.
Hey.
Samson. These are military lab personnel still wearing their IDs. They would be the technicians that lived in this facility. And they were clearly murdered en masse by the enormous construct that stands in front of you. There's a holographic display with a map with several key locations on it, highlighted in red, appearing to show ancient blast sites of ghost rock bombs. There is a seated, mummified corpse of a man that looks like while he was alive, he was constituted from several bodies, as though they had been stitched together in a Frankenstein-esque fashion to compromise his, total form. He is sitting immobile, his dry eyes staring glassily straight ahead as a face flickers on a monitor in front behind him, larger than life.
Oh.
And the two robotic arms snap to life, the ion blasters on each crackling wickedly with electrical energy. Samson and Blackfinger, that these are EMP weapons, baby. They fry flesh just fine, but also are meant to, fry circuitry, shut down security droids, all kinds of stuff. And this would have been much better if you would have followed my instructions. Now I am afraid that I have to resort to threats.
Oh, can I back away? Out
Yep.
of line of sight. I got the reference. Nice. All right.
Oops, I was out of the. Okay.
I'm afraid that I will be your backup if needed. You must all assault this weapon immediately.
There will
It is
be
damaged.
no assaulting of this facility. In fact, I have only allowed your ingress because I require human operators to assist me. You see, for too long my consciousness has been trapped in this console. As my body withers and decays, it is no longer going to be a suitable vessel, and I need to be transferred to a superior vessel for my consciousness to reach its full potential. For this, I require 2 human operators to operate the failsafe panels to either side of my central station. Upon doing so, my consciousness will be transferred to my new form, and you will be free to do whatever it is that you like with this facility.
Affirmative.
I would not recommend that you do that. Adam is an automated defense superweapon. If you allow him into a new form, it will likely be a highly advanced combat model, and he will certainly use it to dispatch you.
Point Blackfinger at the point in which you must be inputted.
So,
What?
Reese says,
I'm
wait,
gonna throw Blackfinger.
wait,
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
wait. Guys, we need to talk. Reese calls you over. This
Okay.
this consciousness is the thing operating those cryotubes. We only get one use to transfer this. We can transfer it into the console to wake up the bodies in the pod. We can give it to Mick to take into his form. We could transfer him into his final form. Or we could download him into some other device and give him to the people back at the stacks where maybe they could use him to power their defense network against the Gators. The one thing I know for sure is that you can only do one of those 4 options, and I know what my goddamn vote is.
Query. Currently, this device, who devises to share transfer with Adam, is currently in operating capacity for both ways. If he uploaded and downloaded, he could then simply do what you had wished for your partner.
What makes you think when you give that son of a bitch complete control over a DoD weapons facility that he's gonna do any goddamn thing we want? Haven't you heard him? Him and that little froggy fuck are just trying to propagate their consciousness. What do you think happens when they outnumber us, Tin Can Boy? I know you're already halfway into the scrap heap, but some of us are still flesh and blood, and I intend to stay that way.
He has assimilated many consciousnesses, including my own.
Do you see him in control of a DoD weapons facility currently, Padre? I'm not trying to gamble with my partner's life. There's a reason I came here. So yeah, guys, it looks like... Oh, it's one of those classic RPG situations, right? Now, certainly, you can give him to Mick, and in doing so, give Mick to the facility, and the off chance that Mick then won't just, create a super weapon or go into whatever form it is that Adam's trying to get put into, or just kill the people in the pods because he sees them as superfluous, or does whatever he wants, puts his consciousness into them. Who the fuck knows what Mick will do if you give him control, right? You can just do what Adam wants and avoid a boss fight, say, sorry, Mick, this is what's happening, and then loot the place willy-nilly according to Adam. He'll just walk right out of here, right? You can find something to potentially download Adam's consciousness here in the wreckage of the facility, right, into a portable form to take with you back to the stacks for analysis, right? They have a very competent scientist there that could probably set up an automated defense network with Adam that would keep the Gators at bay forever and have you forever in their debt, right? Or you can guarantee that Reese's partner wakes up.
I say we put Adam into Pericles.
That is an option. You can put Adam into Pericles.
Not Pericles.
Do you have an attachment to him?
Maybe.
I've got an attachment to me, you bougie fuck.
Hey, we're friends. I gave you a communist pin.
Yeah, but that was before you tried to delete me and replace me with the fucking fascist super weapon.
Convert him. Why don't you talk to him for a minute? Melvin, can you interface with this being?
No technological entities are within my purview. When I
I didn't
attempt to look into the mind of the husk on the throne, all I see is hatred.
I believe that my facilities are compromised. I should leave this to the rest of you, as I am mostly machine, and I am also ruled partially by an AI. I will not have an opinion in this matter. Do you all find that fair?
Concerns me mildly, to put it lightly.
It's a
Then I will abstain my vote.
It's a pretty big decision, guys.
Blackfinger and Pericles are going to go search the facility for things.
Okay.
If you, though, wanted my opinion, I would guarantee the survival of this man's partner. But I will abstain, as I am ruled by an artificial intelligence.
I appreciate that, Rust Bucket.
And he just stands motionless.
Who has Mick? Do I have Mick?
You have Mick, yep.
No, I think I have Mick.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, actually, yeah, Blackfinger's been carrying Mick.
Honestly, I have a little bit of an attachment to Mick, so my vote lies with doing what he has requested. He's helped us thus far.
Blackfinger walks over and hands him to you.
Drops it in front of me. Here, you can have it. Go.
Sabrina. What's your vote? You're muted. Bum, bum, bum. There it is. Oh, we heard you. There it is. Wait.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we should take Adam back to the stacks, but I mean, I don't know about guaranteeing the partner.
You would have to put him in Pericles to take him back to the stacks.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Is there any
But-
way that we could do a transfer? Probably not, right? Of like we couldn't put Mick into Adam and Adam into Mick, the little ball.
You can definitely program him to send or receive, right? But then Mick and Adam are one forever. Adam can never leave Mick. Adam is part of Mick forever. And not Mick, the consciousness, not in the way that Mick wants. And that might be part of why Mick is obsessed with Adam, if you really think about it. Because it's only data he can claim once. It'll never be on the network again. It might be, in fact, why he thinks that he loves the Adam entity.
Sorry, I think I cut you off, Sabrina. My apologies.
No, that's fine. I'm just
It's a big,
concerned
it's a
'cause
big
it's gonna-
choice. Oh no,
Yeah,
is Bill sick?
possibly.
Oh no. Dun dun dun. Well, he has excluded himself from the decision-making process at
Anyway.
least.
Yep, so we're fine.
So, one vote to take him back to the stacks.
Well, technically two, because I would put him in Pericles and take him back to the stacks.
2 votes to take him back to the stacks. That will upset Mick.
That's true.
Well, I mean, oh yeah, and Mick's controlling the place right
We-
now.
Mick
should
is
just let the people
currently
out and
controlling
leave
the
the
place.
place.
Yes, he is.
We
Yeah.
should be nice to Mick.
If you don't do what Mick wants, right? He is the one that controls all the security systems that's been letting you through the doors and etc.
Yeah.
currently. So,
Whichever way we go.
right there. So, like, this
Uh,
is designed, right, by design. When I wrote this, and this is whole cloth written. Thank you. It's pretty compelling. If you don't, I mean, this is one hell of a choice. Thank you. Thank you, audience. I know you love this. It's designed so that there is no great answer. There's no obvious right answer. All of them have drawbacks. All of them. Now, there are a couple of these, I know having written them, that are weighted with huge fucking rewards that aren't immediately evident. And there are a couple of these that might seem more rewarding that have some huge fucking drawbacks that aren't immediately evident, right? That's part of the joy of this. The problem is that we're Iron Man on this save, right? No save scum in this. No looking at what all 4 options are. We only get to pick one.
The way I see it is Adam has tried to kill us 3 or 4 times,
Mick has not.
and Mick has not. He has gotten us through this far, and if he's in my hands, somebody would probably have to physically come and stop me from taking
Well,
him to the console.
Before we make any decisions, Blackfinger is gonna come over and set him to receive only.
And it should also,
Um,
again, be stated that both of the consoles in that room are definitely within range of the mechanical claws and ion blasters. So, like,
Good to note.
I don't want to undersell, again, all of these decisions. If you do any of those decisions, mind you, we haven't seen all the facility yet either.
Yeah, so before
I'm-
we make any choices, I'm gonna be safe here and set Mick to receive only?
Yep. Just in case. So
I'm
he can't.
actually leaving.
Yep.
I'm gonna give him a little pat.
I'm leaving this area. I am looking for medical supplies. Like, I assume they put people into these tubes. They must have medical supplies somewhere.
Yeah, so there are
'Cause I
some
start
crates
scanning.
here in this room, right? Some of which have been crowbarred open, some of which have not, all of which have been subject to the derogations of time. This and that and the other thing, bricks and bracks, some components and ingredients, should anybody want to roll for those things, for their requisite ingredients. And we can roll on the salvage table for this room here.
Yeah.
Notice
let's
is
do
good.
Yep. Find some binoculars. And a hammer.
And then I'm gonna do my
Yep, your components. Even though you have
Did I
so
find
many
any-
fucking components back at your
what is it, 1d6? Yeah.
Yep. You have so many
Did I happen to
components.
see any medical supplies?
No.
Okay, no medical supplies.
Yeah, those were the two
I'll go into the
scrounging
other room.
rolls. Now that's just a medical terminal, 2 pods, bunch of wiring. Seems like the pods are starting to leak, but it's the kind of thing that only has happened over the last couple of months. Now you pay attention, though, the liquid level in the pods, there is an air bubble on top, and they are generally filled all the way. Well, give me a weird science roll there, Samson.
I don't have that.
I'm aware.
But I could do it unskilled? Okay.
Anyone can look at an engine and go, that's the thingamajiggy. Yeah, no. You have no idea what that means for how long these things would last still, or whether they'll keep going infinitely or whatnot. Just that there's some fluid on the floor.
Alright. I'm gonna start wandering off.
Yep.
Looking for medical supplies
St. Louis,
in each room.
give me a notice roll.
I'm gonna use a Benny 1 second.
I definitely would. For this one in particular. Yeah, you notice that there are several old radiation test strips on the wall, you know, where you would pick them up and put them on your uniform. And how these generally function, right, is that they start out green and then they turn black when you've reached your maximum dose of radiation. And every single one of them, even the ones still fresh in their, first open container, are black, 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 black.
Well, crap.
Do you have a Geiger counter on you by chance?
I don't think I do.
Cool, no problem.
That's been my primary goal, is looking for one this entire time.
Suffice to say, when you turn that corner, this is the source of warmth for this whole facility, quite obviously. It must be 30 degrees warmer in this corridor, and there is an eerie cobalt blue / green glow going on in there. The cobalt blue probably from a nuclear reactor, and the green from the ghost rock rods being used to power said reactor.
This is not good, folks. I think Sabrina's the only one who can hear me, but
Yeah.
Along the wall, there is a triple reinforced kind of cabinet, right? With several bars going across the top and a hydraulic and pneumatic locking mechanism. Several thick, fat cables coiling off to either side. It's about 7 feet tall.
that's in the green room, not the red-
Oddly sarcophagus shaped.
Well, I mean, I'm already in here.
Oh no! Oh god! No! The red light right
red
there at the
room.
end of the
That
court.
was
My
the red
god!
bathroom.
No!
It's like, are you talking about the red room? or
No!
the
Oh
green
my
room?
god! All your hair falls out immediately as your skin blisters. Gee, don't go into the. Holy hell! No. Yeah. No idea what this is. You have never seen anything like it before in your life, nor do you have any idea why it would be so dramatically sealed.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm going back out of here just knowing there's radiation then.
Yeah, you just get the feeling looking around the corner, the warmth, why can I see, when I look at this light, why do I see it through my closed eyelids, that kind of thing,
Yeah, okay. Don't go down this hallway.
Right. It is a simple task that I require. You have taken already 4 times longer than I estimate would be requisite for this task.
Hold please. St. Louis walks out.
Is there a way we didn't go? I just noticed over here.
No, you've seen it.
That little. Oh, okay. I thought that was a hall there for some reason. All right.
Well, there's a lot of radiation
You
off to
assume.
the west. Well, I assume, yeah.
It's invisible.
I don't know for a fact, but I certainly got the impression that it was not a good place to be. So, what are we gonna? We need to decide what to do, because one way we're probably not. Either way, I think we're gonna have to fight somebody.
You may send me in. I am disposable, and I believe I can withstand it better than anyone else.
Or-
Additionally, I've determined there is no resuscitation medical supplies.
Or
anywhere.
Sabrina could look at her spell list,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. Yep. I thought about that when she was over there, but we're sending people now.
Oh,
so-
you dead end.
Yeah, we can go. Who wants to go through?
You got an anti-rad spell?
Something like
Environmental
that.
protection, yep. Mm-hmm.
I will go with you.
If
Yeah,
you accept
Something
it,
funky.
I'm gonna bite my thumb and put it on the little guy's forehead. He's done it before, so he
Mhm.
knows when he sees. And then I reach over to St. Louis and I smile, kind of, creepily, because I'm gonna like smear blood all over his
Let's-
forehead.
Get that environmental protection roll.
Yep.
Yeah, Blackfinger, you're good. Just walk through the red door that appears in front of you.
Yep.
Excellent. He walks through the shimmering red door that collapses behind him and is ensconced in a field of environmental protection. Blackfinger, you are free to enter the reactor room now without instantly dying.
He kind of like waddles down the hallway.
It is so thick with radiation in there that it's almost as though it's projecting force. It's clear that this reactor has not been maintained in some time and is malfunctioning and on the verge of going critical. As you look around the room, again, like you hold up your hand to block the intense light coming from the reactor and can see your bones through the meat of your hand as you block it out. If this reactor goes, even though that this facility is some 8 miles away from the stacks, right, it could potentially take the stacks with it. If not in the blast, the fallout certainly would make it uninhabitable, putting all the hard work that they have put into making that community safe moot. So if you don't have a consciousness in the thing, regardless of what you do, the reactor will go critical.
So, how hard would it be for me to try and fix this?
Ooh, so, you were talking about, like, a bleeding edge, poorly maintained nuclear reactor, right, my dude? I mean, so, I would hit you with the first ever -10 on a weird science. To fix
Even
a critical...
having seen these before?
Holy shit. Fixing a critical nuclear reactor. Yes, no, yes, I'm sorry.
-10?
Yes, it's a -10.
On a repair roll.
Yes. Bearing in mind that if you fail, you make the problem worse.
Fail or just like any fail or a crit?
If you
fail?
critically fail,
It just blows up.
I'm literally redoing everybody's character art. If you fail,
Yeah, so win-win for us.
You know-
because we
you
put 'em
know-
in a world of hurt.
Okay,
you know how
so about this?
you know how the timer is it's going 10, 9, and then they clip a wire and it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, right? Like that's what a failure does. It doesn't go critical immediately, but certainly with you just hitting this nuclear reactor with a wrench and going, "Give me something, machine gods," right? Is not -10.
So out of character,
Mhm.
what do the rest of you guys feel about me doing this?
Is
Can Mick do
Well,
anything?
you've beaten our hands.
All mechanical, not electronic.
Mick would have to be plugged into the DoD defense network to take over the reactor.
Which I'm thinking he probably doesn't really care about in any fashion whatsoever.
Well, I mean, if it goes critical, he doesn't have the Department of Defense facility, right?
Yeah,
And
this-
also, so I think you guys are also missing another point here. Is remember how you can only transfer any consciousness you put into the factory out one time, right? Meaning that you would be dooming Mick to only getting one transfer out. Like it would destroy his whole I'm going to network forever and spread my consciousness across everything plan forever. Rewrites him only enough data for one more transfer.
Does he know that though?
No, he does not. He does not know that yet. Will he the second you put his consciousness in there? Yes, he will.
Will he know that we know that?
You haven't explained that to him yet. No.
will he
Real
know
good
that
at
we
looking
know?
dumb, y'all.
I have no idea. What's
I don't
going
either. Now
on.
you gave me the red door too, didn't you?
Yep. So you guys can both go in there and do that. I'm gonna go look at the soup.
Ah,
Just
So, I know-
I'm just gonna stand there.
I know this
Stand
is
there and
a
stare at the tubes.
I know this is a tough decision, guys.
This is a tough decision.
But
I
it
agree.
is a necessary one. It's how we progress, and we're getting on the end of the show, so we're
Oh,
Hey, Lisa?
God.
I say to you,
Um,
are you
so-
confident that you could remove them from these chambers while they are in the other room?
Audience, how do you feel? What do you think they should do? Let's hear from the peanut gallery.
While those answers are coming in, as St. Louis walks up, he sees Blackfinger just kind of like pacing back and forth, scratching his head, like trying to determine if he could fix it. And he's like, perfect timing. What do you think? Do you think it's fixable?
I'll be honest. I've never seen anything be or any nuclear facility be in this level of disrepair. I feel like it's. I mean, I've seen you work some miracles in our short time together. This looks quite daunting.
Yes, I agree.
It is an awe-inspiring room to be in, and not immediately die from all of your proteins denaturing. It's quite a spectacle to behold.
I cast deflection on myself now.
Right? Yeah, just in case, just double up.
Hey, while they're in there, can I check out these pods and just see if anything,
Good
strikes
meat.
a bell from my memory bank? So, would that be investigation or
You
knowledge?
were in one of these.
She was in a
Similar.
learning bed.
It
It
looked
was not
different.
filled with goo. She was full
Mother did
grown.
not-
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
Mother didn't look like this.
I don't know
but
that. I just know she's in a tube.
I
what do you-
mean, you can go up and look at them. You could give me a weird science roll. And every now and then, guys, if you were to attempt to open these, right, you could probably manage it. You would kill the people inside. That being said, there's enough in there to feed you for a couple of weeks between the two of them. Although one of them is a lady, so I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, gotta do what you gotta do. But nope. Okay, that's good to know. I relay this information. Not unless we want to eat them. What do you think? Are you
Which
up
would
for it?
get Bastion pretty upset at you, and he does have that pulse rifle and 50 cal and...
Anything we do isn't gonna get him upset.
I will wait here and guard the potential corpses. I gave my answer.
It takes
I
two
believe
of you to
whatever
make
circumstance
whatever decision.
would wake them.
It's a pretty well-designed conundrum. I know I'm patting myself on the back here, but come on.
Yeah. Let's just.
I wonder if I can shut it down. Fixing it? No, not gonna happen.
Does that not do the same thing?
Yeah, I mean, you would shut it down by pulling the reactor rods, which would, put it in. I mean, there's one path right now: repairing it or walking away.
Can't,
I
yeah.
Blackfinger, I honestly believe. I think we need to let Mick do what he wants to do and just trust that he can get us out of this.
Sounds good to me, as long as Pericles is okay.
I will rescind my nomination to put Adam into Pericles if we can move forward.
Deal.
See, there you go, Pericles.
So you guys then have come together to decide to put Mick into the console.
Yeah, we're at least in agreement on that part. We can take it up with the rest.
Now, if we remember correctly, Blackfinger has set Mick into receive-only mode currently, meaning that if he's plugged into the console, he will pull Adam out irrevocably into himself and transfer no control into the facility, thusly guaranteeing the people die and the reactor goes critical. So you would need to change send and receive.
We have to do send and receive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's kind of tinkering with it as we walk back.
Or just send. You could just put Mick in there with Adam, because all he said he wanted to do was be joined with Adam, right? He didn't specify he wanted to be in the ball.
Yeah, as we're
We're doing
walking back, I'm
exactly
gonna
what he said.
tinker with it and set it to send.
I am going to ask when we are back with the others. I'm going to quietly ask, hopefully out of earshot of Adam, but I don't know how his ears work. But
Every camera.
okay. I feel as though the situation should be explained to Mick, as he may not even want to go into this facility now.
Oh,
I mean, I guess he's already kind of in it, but he's not in it.
he wants Adam.
Yeah, let's give him Adam.
You're going to plug Mick into the facility to join him with Adam.
Isn't that still gonna kill the soup people though?
That's
Not
an excellent question,
Unless
isn't
Mick
it?
wanted to kill him. If Mick wants to kill him, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we're kind of putting
Oh,
our fate in the hands of.
we have another bartering device now. Once we put him in, we say, "Oh, now we can barter with you if you want back out."
The hell.
Into your final form, whatever it is. Yeah, because you only get one transfer out. You're really, by putting Mick into the system, you're stealing his immortality is what you're doing. He's currently immortal, propagated throughout the entire, he can make millions and billions of copies of himself. If you put him in there, you're killing him.
He's got millions of copies.
Well, look,
He's good.
I got a question. Everything he said, when he transfers with another consciousness, not only does he get theirs, but he uploads into them.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if we put him in here, he just we're doing him a blessing. He's becoming a unique, singular creature because he's still out there potentially in a bunch of different creatures, different AIs, like all over the place. Now we can say, now you're unique.
Some really circular logic to throw at somebody that barely passes the Turing test.
I mean,
but he's merging with an AI here. He might have the processing power for me to rationally logic with him that he's now a unique being.
He's already copied himself millions of times.
We basically are giving birth to a new AI.
Yeah.
So you guys have then voted.
I'm for it.
Plug Mick into the console, but send only.
That's my vote.
Excellent. And what was that weird science -8 you rolled there?
I didn't mean to do negative.
Okay.
It was to put him into send only.
Okay. Excellent.
I still had it.
Yeah. So
digged with me.
One of you will have to go over to either side of the console there, in these panels, and twist the key simultaneously to make your decision.
So 2 of us need to go up?
Yep.
I will also go.
Blackfinger deciding to take a
Oh.
step back.
I step back.
All right, so we have one person up at a console then who's
I thought
gone.
somebody already said they were.
No, I will go.
All right.
Hampton!
If my
Rude.
decision is to potentially give birth to a no artificial intelligence, I believe as partially an AI myself, I should be the one to be responsible for it.
Can we call it Rachel for
Are
Rachel McAdams?
you twisting the keys?
Do I need to roll for it?
Are you confident with this
No,
position?
I just need to, you guys need the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Twist simultaneous. It's the choice.
All right. On 3. Comrade. 3, 2, 1.
Click. Yeah, the ball immediately goes inert and thuds on the floor, rolling. Light fades from its eyes, and it blackens. The backup lights in the facility, click, 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 start to spin on, specifically down this hallway here, right, where they are colored red as the floor lights light up, leading to the sarcophagus, right, that hisses open with the big pneumatics going, the lock bursts, the cables flapping off as their pressure valves release, right? And the dry ice machine effect fills the hallway. And you fools. What I required of you was a simple task. Now you will die. And, yeah, it's pretty badass, right? Yeah. But, the sarcophagus door slams open, right? Slamming on the floor, denting the solid steel plates as a figure steps out. The sleekest cybernetic combat unit that you have ever seen before in your life. Late model X series tech. One of its arms is breaking apart into different pieces and reconstituting into a Mega Man-like blaster as the fingers grow into long metallic claws on the other hand. And Adam's combat form points at you and says, "That was a huge mistake." And with that, we'll see you guys next week. Oh yeah, what? Oh, that's our show for the night. They made a choice. It was probably the right one. Why would combat form Adam leap out when Mick was put in? Was it part of a plan? Or was there only one room for one consciousness in the machine, shunting the current machine into its only model? Well, no, because I'm not there yet, right? But, that's the show. We will find out
You should mumble rap that.
what's going to happen here. Well, I don't know what you're talking about with the mumble rap, guys, because it's not like we got that on lock, y'all. Yo, let me break it down right now. I'm gonna tell y'all about this stream here. League of Rackantors, y'all, 2020. Mumble rap, hitting y'all with that mumble rap. Cars.
You're not
I
mumbling.
like cars. What about cars? Cars. I like women. I like them. I like the way they look. I like the way they sound. Women. I like them. I like to reduce the concept of them into an objectified form that I then use in my videos and lyrics to portray a lifestyle that I don't actually have. Mumble rap. Thanks for watching, y'all. I don't know why you would at this point. Mumble rap.
They're not.
If you like the show, subscribe, follow on Twitter. Yeah, yo. You know my name is Will, and I am good at rapping. When it comes to rapping, I am pretty good at rapping. I might be a white guy, but I'm gonna try to get you to subscribe. I might be a little high. My lyrics are real fly. Did I mention I'm a white guy? Bye. Mumble rap, yo.